All right, so this is the second part of the notes, which I think are actually, I think it might be the easiest part of the notes. So instead of evaluating like we normally do, now we're specifically going to look at what does it look like to use a table to evaluate and using a graph to evaluate. So using these things to evaluate, what's it going to look like? How is it different than just plugging it in? So in order to use a table to evaluate, we need to remember that the number inside of the parentheses, if I can get this to work for me, slightly, kinda, the number inside the parentheses, is the x value. Okay, so all we have to do is find the number in the x column, and the answer will be the corresponding y value. So it's pretty straightforward. So looking at these examples here, given y equals f of x, use the table to find the following. So one of the things that I usually have my algebra kiddos do is when we look at a table like this, we see that we have x and we have y, but y is the same thing as f of x. So I usually tell them to write that f of x in there. So that way, when I find this x value at 2, I know that the f of x value has to be 3. So I know that the coordinate point there is 2. Sorry, my cat's trying to like awkwardly cuddle with me right now, and it's difficult to write and pet him at the same time. So f of, stop it, dude, 2 is 3. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with -1. So we know our x value is -1, which means our y value is -5. Oops. So straightforward, we just look at the table, match up our values. Looking at a graph. Find the point on the graph that has the given x value. The y value of that point will be f of x. So we look at the x value, or look on the x-axis for the given value. We move up or down to find that point on the line, and then we draw a line straight across, left or right, to see if we can figure out that y value. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at these two problems. Okay, these two examples. So let me get some colors here. So we have, and I'm going to zoom in too because we all know I can't, draw straight lines to save my life. So f of 40 is our first one. So I'm going to find 40 down here on the x coordinate, and I'm going to go all the way up till I reach that line. Okay, that was pretty straight. Okay, so that point right there has an x value of 40. So to find the y value, now I'm going to go this way. The y value is 300. So f of 40 is 300. So for f of 30, we're going to find 30, go up, and then over. So it looks like it's actually between 200 and 250. So let's say that f of 30 is 225. And those are our final answers. So like I said, this was part 2. Hope it made a little bit more sense. And if you have any questions, let me know.